Hey everybody, it's your girl Jackie Johnson. I think you're muted, sis.
I apologize. It's LaQuisha. How are y'all doing this wonderful Sunday?
Awesome. So again, it's us. We're here. It's Sunday. Y'all know what time it is. Sis, I can hear
Yes,
you. I don't know if you got the Facebook playing, but I can hear it. It's echoing.
I don't. I don't have that on.
It's like reverbing.
That's weird. I don't have it on at all. That's weird. I don't have it on. Mm-mm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't hear me. I don't hear an echo on this end. I don't have Facebook on. Have you?
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Do you hear it still? I mean, you
I
said
don't
you didn't hear
hear
it.
any echo.
Okay, well, we hopefully they don't hear the echo. Y'all let us know if you hear echo because before we get started, I want to make sure everybody can hear. I'm not hearing it anymore. Is y'all hearing it? Okay, so I think we're good. Okay, so
Okay.
uh, let's start this over.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Technical difficulties this morning. We apologize. Technical difficulties. Maybe it's this light. Let's do that.
Well, happy Sunday, everybody. It's your girl Jackie Johnson.
I don't know, still technical difficulties. Everything is turned off on my end. Um, I don't know. I guess we'll just try to roll with it.
Yep. You want to reintroduce yourself, sis?
Sure, it is LaQuisha, aka LQ, one half of my sister and me. Welcome to this Sunday podcast. Interesting topic this morning. I don't know if my sister, or this afternoon, I don't know if my sister went over it already, but an interesting topic still nonetheless. Sis, did you hit them with the topic?
Mm-mm.
No?
Nope. So, welcome to
Okay.
Sister Conversations in Black, episode 15. The topic is do black men like us? Mm, interesting question. It was a real question.
It was a real question posed, and I did not have at that moment exactly what to say. So I'm not one of those people that will answer a question just to be hearing myself talk. Should have been an easy answer though. It should have been an easy answer. It should have been, girl, yeah, they like, but it wasn't. No.
Well, why wasn't it an easy answer for you?
Because I need to. There are a lot of circumstances that go in that, so I can't speak in general. I mean, I can't say general. I can't speak for every black man. I could say generally, sure they like us, but there are some that I feel, in my opinion,
Okay.
So I couldn't say it, because when you talk about Black men, you got to talk about, for me, first of all, you got to talk about class, type, relationship, as far as like relationship with themselves. So when I say class, I mean like, is he the Marian type? Is he in the church? Is he heterosexual? Is he, transgender? There are classes of Black men, just like there are classes of Black women. And in my opinion, this is not for all of them, but in my opinion, there are some Black men that have an alternative lifestyle outside of heterosexuality that do not care for Black women. I have seen some very angry ones, and I'm not saying all of them. I've seen some very angry ones who, when describing Black women, we are fish. That's what they've said. They are very nasty. When you talk to them, they have an attitude, yet they carry the entire persona of us, the way they walk, the way they talk. But there are some, and some people may not agree with this, and some people might. There are some that they get into it with them, they go nasty, nasty. And I think that that is proof that, and I'm just talking about this specific class, they do not care for us. I don't know what happened to them when they want to make them choose this alternate lifestyle, but some that choose this other lifestyle, they do not like us. And I'm just talking about Black. So I have to classify it. I can't just say every Black man. I got to break that thing down.
Ooh, I don't know. This is a difficult topic, period. I know for me, I can only talk about what I have experienced or what I know from the Black men that I encounter on a day-to-day basis, whether it's my family, whether it's associates at work, whether it's just people I have met. And I have not personally had an encounter with a Black man thus far that has displayed hate for the Black woman. So I haven't had that experience at all, but I have heard women say that they feel that way. And so for me, I think at the end of the day, nobody can speak for the entire race of Black men or Black women. We can only talk about our perspectives and our experiences. So I just want to put that out there. So my experiences and my perspective is I have not encountered a Black man that hates us. But what I have encountered is Black men who devalue us or don't know how to value us. And I think that they're two very different things. To be devalued, it just simply means like they'll use you for things and they'll date you and even marry you, but sometimes they just don't understand what you're really worth and how different you are from other women, how you function even with him as a man. They don't understand those things, and because of that, when you don't know that you have, if somebody gives you a gold necklace and you think that it's just gold plated and you have no idea that that is solid gold all the way through and through, you will mishandle it because it's not common to get something that valuable as a gift. And if the person doesn't tell you, hey, this is 24 solid gold, like through and through, you don't know that it's 24 karat solid gold. You think that it's, hey, they probably got it from K Jewelers or somewhere, and that's just you know what I mean? You don't know the value. And so I think a lot of times that's how Black men treat Black women. They have this prize in their hand, they have this valuable gift in their hand, but they really don't understand us or sometimes even take the time to understand who we are and what we bring as Black women. We're different from any other race of women. And any Black man who does not know that or understand that probably devalues us because they don't even know that basic thing, you know. And I'm not saying we're superior to every other race of women. I'm saying we're different. We were built for them. We were built to help them, love them, and be a part of their life. So, in my opinion, a lot of Black men devalue Black women severely. And so, whether that's because they don't know how to value her or they just don't understand her true worth. So, that is my experience and my viewpoint.
Okay. Um, so in order to ask the question, I think that the woman that was asking the question had been hurt by something that had been said about um, a Black woman's worth. And it was supposed to be a funny meme, but it wasn't very funny. And it just kind of shows the way that person who posted the meme was feeling at that time. Here's my opinion. Whether they like us or not, because the question was if they like us, whether they like us or not. Um, for all of them, I don't know, sis. And I'm just talking about general. I don't know, sis. Like, but what I will say is that you need to like yourself, right? This is the cliche that everybody will say, but I'm gonna say it. You need to like yourself and you need to care for yourself, even in a relationship. Even if you feel like you've gotten into a relationship with someone that doesn't like you need to like you. And so oftentimes that or different situations, I don't want to just say like a romantic relationship, but different situations, it can be parental. Um, it can beat you down to a point where you don't even like yourself. And so when you don't like yourself, you kind of project that in general out to the world where you begin to believe that no one likes you, that no one cares for you, that no one is here for you because of whatever has happened in that relationship, whether it be parental, romantic, and you allowed it for so long. But what I am saying is, you like yourself, sis. We have to like ourselves first. And I'm a firm believer that what's in you will protrude out of you. And so I told someone the other day because she asked, how do you know when a relationship is over? And I told her, in my opinion, I feel like you know it's over when you realize that that person is treating you as good as you would treat yourself, because then you lose a desire for them. So once you lose a desire for them, then yeah, but you the realization comes before the act. And so what I'm saying, how that relates is that if you like yourself, you won't allow anyone to come in who will dislike you. You know, people can be cunning, but if you like yourself, there'll be something eventually that won't sit right in your spirit, and you'll remove yourself from it if you care for yourself first. Then it won't matter whether or not the Black man likes us, because we will love us. And I think, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it, I think a lot of women, including myself, so this is not for everyone else, has had to work on, just like Black men, has had to work on self-worth. I feel like we've had to do it a little harder because we've had mixed down, including the Black man. And so, because, like you said, we have felt devalued by them, we've had to kind of do these building blocks over again to build who we are. But when you get to that place, sis, and you like yourself, you'll no longer ask the question on whether or not he likes you. You see those red flags. This person is not treating me as good as I would treat myself, and you will not allow it. And you will eventually get you somebody that will like you and love you.
Interesting. Hmm. That is a very interesting view. Um,
Well, we do
I,
need to work on self-worth. Black women need to work on self-worth.
I mean,
They do.
I think everybody needs to work on self-worth to a degree, but I really believe Black women are very resilient, and if they don't learn anything else, they learn self-worth. And even though a lot of people still suffer, I don't feel like it's a real epidemic that we don't know our worth. Most of the time, especially if you're a good woman, you figure it out when you go through things, because when you go through, especially relationship issues, when you go through relationship issues, you're not just thinking about the relationship. You get to a place where you start to self evaluate and you start to ask yourself questions like, why didn't I see that this person would do this? Or why didn't I know that this person was like this? And then it makes you ask questions to yourself. You know, did I know who I was? Did I treat myself a certain way? Did I, you know what I mean? So I think good women, they learn or they figure it out or they evaluate their self-worth even when they have a bad situation. And so I know there's a ton of women out there that don't have any self-worth, and that's why they do the trifling things that they do. Let's just be real about it. Um, I'm sorry, but you know, you can like sex just as much as the next person, but a woman who hops from man to man to man to man to man to man to man, you can't tell me you have a lot of self-worth. I don't care what nobody say. Um, a woman who sleeps with a married man or somebody else's man, you can't tell me you have self-worth. Um, I'm sorry. In my eyes, it ain't. And it can be judgmental. Y'all know y'all gonna judge me anyway. But those are my views. I know for me, I have a lot of self-worth. And there are some things I just cannot bring myself to do because of the worth that I have in myself. And so, yeah, I think women as a whole do suffer from that. But I don't think it's like an epidemic. I think in this day and time, women are very conscious about themselves. They are striving every day to I think sometimes they go overboard. I think the self-love and the self-worth go to I don't need a man. I don't want a man. Ain't nothing a man can do for me. So I'm not sure that I feel like we really don't know our worth. I feel like what people do is I feel like people's experiences shape their reality. And just like you said with that woman, she had been hurt multiple times by Black men. That shaped her reality of feeling like they just don't like us. And for a lot of women and men, that is exactly what shapes their viewpoint of Black men or Black women is the experiences that you've had. But I also believe that we've all had bad experiences. I could name 50 million bad experiences that I've had with a Black man, but I don't dislike them and I don't feel like they dislike me, probably because I've healed. And I think that's a really, really important aspect. You can go through things, but if you don't heal from that stuff, it makes you bitter and it makes you jaded and it starts to give you a bitter, dark perception and reality of Black men as a whole. And so I know that you've dealt with 4 Black men in your life, but like those 4 Black men that you have dealt with is not the epitome of all Black men. But if you don't heal through the experiences you have, it will be for you. That will be your reality. And so that's what I believe. But yeah.
All right. Well, as I was saying, I don't think that we don't have self-worth. What I said was that we should be rebuilding. That's what I actually said, rebuilding. Because oftentimes in a relationship that's not productive for you, it can often tear you down. And I do agree that every race has to learn it, or, every woman is resilient, or they have to learn it. Um, there is a large disparity with African American women and any other race, um, in regards to self-worth. Not that we don't have it. What I said was the rebuilding of it, because of it's been torn down in the media, torn down with other races, torn down amongst each other. And you do have a group and a piece that knows who they are, but also another piece that doesn't. And so it's just like this podcast. It's our job to help those women or those young ladies find out, who they are and how important they are. But there is a huge disparity with the Black woman and other women in regards to self-worth. Not that we don't know, we are very resilient, but I think that there has to be a reason. When I look at the media, I don't see the beating down of a woman much as the Black woman. Rap videos, songs,
Absolutely.
like it's
But does
absolutely
that really paint our self-worth, or is that how others see us?
well, even if it's how others see us, what happens is just like you can see a billboard with Coca-Cola on it for 10 miles, the same billboard, eventually somebody's going to want a Coke. What happens is it pushes these images into our young people and then they begin what they've seen, and it doesn't really vibe with who we are. So now we have a breakdown in the culture because you have a core set of individuals like, no, babe, that's not who you are, because we know we have the knowledge and the wisdom. But then you got this other core that's looking at these images and they think this is what we are, like the love and the hip hops, and I want to be like this and I want to be like that. And then there's a breakdown within the village, which is why podcasts like this is so important, because we're exposing these things. And maybe your household will say, this is not the image that our family portrays. This is television, but this is not us. And so I do think that, I think that they are heavily influenced, and oftentimes their worth is placed in the wrong thing. So it's like they want to put this image up, like the social media or the advertising or television, or bad, whatever you call the movies, the shows. And the worth is in what they be like this person or be like that person. And so let's just say they get into a relationship and this is the way that they're portraying themselves, and then they think that the Black man doesn't like us when he begins to treat us the way that we have portrayed ourselves. Not saying me, not saying you, but I mean, there's this group of people that have adopted these ideologies from what the world has given us versus what their core, if their core taught them anything, meaning their mothers, their grandmothers, they have adopted something else. So my thing is, sis, when I say you got to get your own self-worth, like, this is not for everyone. This is for the ones that have adopted this ideology from the world. You can't expect a man to treat you better than the way you represent or treat yourself, in my opinion. Now, there are some that will still, even though we have shown ourselves to be a great woman, some of them still do the same thing. They do. But there is another core, though. That's that core right now. When you adopt those ideologies and you present yourself, you don't even know that you are like subconsciously looking for that type of mate. You have to ask yourself, how did I keep on ending up with this person? Could it be something about you or something that attracts you to them based on who you are? And then when they don't treat you right, or when you like Mendices, who told Yandy, I saw the clip, after she held him down in years, he don't know if he can hold her down. And all the Black women was mad, okay? They was up and on. He a dog, he this, he that, he garbage, he this, he that, boo boo. Really, y'all mad? But where did he display that he wasn't like that?
Wait a minute. So you saying You said she held him down and while he was in jail, and he told her he wasn't sure he could do it to her.
Yes, ma'am.
Why wouldn't she be mad?
Well, I'm asking, why would? Well, yes. Why? Why her being angry? But what did you expect? Is my question. You expected him to hold her down? If you know the story of the two of them and the dynamics of the relationship, and if you've seen it like throughout seasons and stuff,
Oh yeah, I don't watch it.
yeah. But if you have seen it, you would know the dynamics of the situation. You expected him to hold her down? I mean, I'm just saying, like, what we give out, you want somebody to treat you a certain way when you give, and this is not for everyone because it's some of us that don't do that. But I'm talking about this core. What you give out, and you want to do better than what you're portraying. Yandy, I don't have a problem with her, but Yandy has been messy. She has turned against friends. She's not been loyal, all kinds of stuff. So I'm just saying, like, sometimes that energy that you put out will be returned to you. Not for everyone, just that core group. But you'd have to know the story to even know a clip where she was completely hurt. Because he said that he don't know if he, and she held him down for years. Years. Money and everything. Went through stuff with baby mamas and everything. And every Black woman was mad. Well, why wasn't y'all mad when all the babies was popping up? Y'all was telling her, oh, forget it. Stay with them. That's her. So we want to pick what we upset about. If you're gonna be upset at all, be upset about his mistreatment of her in general. I'm just saying, we can't pick and choose. If you're gonna be upset about the way he treating your sister, your friend, be upset about it all, and not just one piece. And does that mean that he don't like her? I don't know. I don't think that he dislikes her. I just think that maybe I don't know. I don't know, sis. I can't speak for every Black man. All I know is that some I knew a brother who had a situation and he was hurt by Black women severely. And I told you about the young man. And he's a hard time with Black women. He does. He has a general overview of all of us. And it's so sad. Based on his personal circumstances.
I mean, exactly. That's why I was saying people's experiences shape their realities. And because we even talked about this in our episode when we talked about why women and men go outside of their race. You know, if you continue to have a bad experience with someone of the same race, you typically judge the entire race because your only experiences have been what it has been. But that's why I say, like, if you don't heal from things, if you don't heal from trauma and hurt and disappointments and abuse and rape and molestation and all of that stuff, you have to heal from that. And I think people think healing lets that person off the hook. No, the healing is for you. The healing is so that you don't lose your entire life based on 2 or 3 experiences that went wrong. Because 2 or 3 people is nearly not enough to judge a whole race of people off of. You know what I'm saying? And that's where even what you was just saying, when you keep attracting the same kind of hurt and stuff, you gotta ask yourself, what are you doing? Like you said. And I think that's something that we don't like to do as well because we're so busy being a victim. Like at the end of the day, somebody can victimize you.
That's right.
Somebody can victimize you but it's up to you if you stay a victim or not. Understand what I'm saying? I've
That's a
been
hard
victim.
truth.
It is a hard truth. And I know people who go through things like rape and molestation or physical abuse or whatever, they really hate when you say that to them. But I'm sorry, in this day and age, 8 out of 10 women have been sexually or physically abused. 8 out of 10.
Lord.
So it is not an isolated event. It's not an event that only you have encountered. It is an event that every woman next to you probably has too. And so we can't afford to sit around hurt and wounded and broken, because that's what we will continue to create. That's what we will continue to give birth to. Women are birthing.
Ooh,
So if you don't
say
heal
that.
and you don't get better and you don't deal with the stuff that's happened to you, you're going to birth that somewhere, whether it's a physical child or whether it's just a circle of friends that you associate with. Whatever you carry, that's what's going to come out of you when you giving advice. That's what's going to come out of you when you trying to call yourself encouraging your friend or your sister. That's what's going to come out of you. You got to be careful. Because if you're a bitter, broken person and you got somebody relying on you and they come to you for help, you're going to spew that bitterness at them. And if they're in a broken place, that's going to be damaging for them. So then you got one bitter woman who's created another bitter woman. You got one bitter, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so important that we heal. It's just so important that we heal. Because we all could formulate our own alternate realities. And I really hate when people say that's their truth. I hate that freaking statement.
Oh, snap.
I get what people mean by that's their truth, but it's not the truth. And that's what pisses me off. Is because your truth is not always the truth. Your truth means that's your reality. That's your perception, but it's not the truth. That person's perception is Black men don't like us because that is her truth. That is her reality because that is her experience. But that is not the truth, because there are tons of Black men out there that will not mess with nothing but a Black woman. Fact.
Yeah.
Okay. But when you are not healed and you do not deal with the things that you've encountered, you now have your truth, which is not the truth. And so it lets people hide in these alternate realities that's really a lie.
All right.
And so I have a hard time with that statement. My sister knows I have a hard time with that statement. That's their truth. Or people talking about living in their truth. Oh, that irritates me so bad. Yeah, that's your truth, but it ain't the truth. Can we get to the truth? And I'm not saying that you don't have to admit your truth to get to the truth, but you can't just be like, well, this is my truth. Like, that's it, and that's the final thing, because it's not the final thing. How you feel is not the final thing. You got to get beyond how you feel. We are such emotional people. And I know, especially for us women, because we were built that way. God built us to be emotional. That's what helps us to do the job that we do as wives and mothers. But at the end of the day, when you go through hurt and you go through trauma, your healing is not just so you don't feel pain anymore. Your healing is so that your emotions heal, so that you're not responding emotionally, that you have some control, that you have some self-control, even in your areas of emotion. And so, I don't know, but that just reminded me of that. I really want to talk about that. Truth.
Yeah. Yes, you're absolutely right. Black women feel, maybe this person, and I'm just thinking out loud here, but maybe this woman was feeling like, okay, let me rephrase it. Sometimes I view us as our Black women having more enthusiasm for the culture versus Black men. I feel like Black men may see it as the universe isn't fair. Like, the first thing that comes to some Black men minds is that everything is against us because of the color of our skin. And I think that some Black women, the first thing that comes to our minds is, I'm Black and I'm beautiful. And it's because of society. I think that if you have come across a man that sees his skin color as a disparity, not as a God-given gift, then we may have a problem. So I think one of the breakdowns in our culture is how we view our skin, meaning our Blackness, not necessarily the dermis. Excuse me, our Blackness. Because you see Black women, girl, listen, some Black women, we will not step out of our race, period. We love melanin, blacker than black. But the men,
it is I.
Yes.
She is me.
But then you would, and we see it as beautiful. What do you see with Black women? We be like, the melanin for me, melanin, the glow. That's how a lot of us see ourselves. But I think that Black men view it as a curse first versus a gift, where we view it as a gift versus a curse.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. And you know why? Because the world, like police and everything being against. So the Black man born with Black skin, y'all. But some Black men born with Black skin see it as, this is my obstacle that I've got to get through now, because the world is going to be against me.
Right.
Which is why some of them will go and outside their race and marry outside their race, because they have in their head, this is not a gift. But with real Black women, when we get this, we like, oh, we strong Black women, resilient Black women. Oh, my skin is, my hair. This is how we are. So it's like an internal thing. And I think that may be also a part of the breakdown with us.
Well, yeah, because you hear a lot of times Black men will say Black women don't have it hard like they do. They say Black women got it easy. Y'all get these jobs and da-da-da-da-da. And you be looking at them like, easy?
Yep.
Are you kidding me? Like, and so that's what I'm saying. So I agree with that. I agree, because we do. We think of the struggle and the things that come with being Black secondary. Primary, we feel
right. That's
pride.
What I was trying to say.
Primarily, Black women feel pride at our skin. We feel beauty. We feel royalty about our skin. Then reality sets in that we have a hard time and we're judged and we're sized up because of the color of our skin. And then when the reality hits us that our own men don't recognize our struggle, because we recognize our men's struggle. That's one that's one of the reasons why a lot of times we do stay with our race, because we look at our men as these strong but persecuted men. And as a woman, when you love someone, like you love them, you want to protect them, you want to be there, you want to make sure that you are their safety, that they don't ever feel from you what they feel from the world. We have that compassionate heart for our men like that.
Yeah.
That's why we love them so. Because when we look at Black men, we just want to love you and take care of you and let you know that you're loved, you're honored, and you're valued. When they look at us, I'm not sure they look at us like, oh, I just want to protect her. Oh, I just want to love her. Oh, I just want to let her know she's amazing. I don't think they look at us. And it's because of what you said, because they're struggling already with the world is against me because I'm Black.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
It's unfortunate.
I feel like you broke that down the best I've heard so far, but that was good.
Thank you. That it just came to my mind, but I do see that, and I wish because we have like Kevin Samuels, like he is, but he's always talking about if you're a Black woman and you got these things going against you, you'll never get a man, blah, blah, blah. And then you got Dr. Umar. And I think that in relation to the two of them, Kevin Samuels, his mouth is big and he's everywhere being talked about. But some people still don't even know who Dr. Umar is. And in relation to using them as an example, I think that the men that actually do love Black women, right? And I'm starting to see this more now, but hopefully it'll keep going. But the men that actually do love Black women need to be louder
Yes.
than the one that hate us.
Yes. And I agree, sis. I wish if I could have a wish, that would be my wish. That the Black men who do love Black women and do see their value and just like how we look at them, I wish that those men were very vocal and loud and verbal and shouting it from the mountaintop. Because the reality is, if you have 8 people who are like that, and then you got 12 people who don't like us, if them 12 people is shouting loud, we don't hear the other 8. The world doesn't hear the other 8. And so, and this is also one of the reasons why you and I are very vocal about our opinions and our feelings. And I know that we are both judged very harshly sometimes for our viewpoints and things like that, but I don't give a hoot nanny in Harlem. I really don't. Because at the end of the day,
nanny in Harlem.
You know me, I don't give a hoot nanny in Harlem. I promise you. Okay. Because at the end of the day, somebody got to fight for somebody. You understand what I'm saying? And it just is what it is. You know, there's plenty of people advocating for interracial couples. There's plenty of people, you know, advocating for whatever. But who's advocating for me? Who's advocating for my viewpoints? Me. I'm an advocate for my viewpoint. So if you don't like what I got to say, just stay on over there somewhere, bro. Sis.
Hello.
You don't want these problems. I promise you don't. Okay, because it ain't gonna hurt me. You know what I'm saying? Like I am a person that's very private. I don't have a lot of friends anyhow. I don't have a lot of family anyhow. Okay. I am a very private person. I love people and I value people. So that's why I don't keep a lot of people around me. Because I hate discarding people. It's hard when I have to break ties with somebody for whatever reason. You know, it's hard for me because I love very deeply. It doesn't matter if you're a friend, sister, brother, man, it don't matter. I love deeply. It is very hard for me to break connections, which is why I don't connect to a lot of people. Because at the end of the day, you have to be careful. And, you know, I look at, you know, how people treat you when you don't agree with them or you feel differently from them. And that's another thing that even with you and I in this podcast, we oftentimes do not agree, but we know how to disagree. There should not bring division or any kind of ill feelings. Like we're 2 different people. We're 2 different people with 2 different experiences, with 2 different operations of our heart, you know, but the core of both of us is we are people who love people. We are people who are considerate of other people's feelings, you know, and so at the end of the day, like, I just don't understand why it's such an issue for me to say I don't date men outside of my race.
It shouldn't.
I love Black men. I will not marry a man out of my. Why is that an issue for me to say it? I'm not prejudiced. Everybody knows that. If you know me, you know I am not prejudiced. But when it comes to who I love and who I choose to be with, it's going to be a man that looks like me. And so, but people have such an issue with it. Like we talked about this even on the last time. I have family members who are married to people outside of their race. I don't be coming up to them like, what you doing with this? You know, whatever, that's their choice. So if you can have the right to choose, I got the right to choose. Okay.
Mhm.
And if I ain't coming at you in your decisions, stay off of me and my decisions. Simple as that.
Yeah.
But these are
Amen.
conversations that need to be had. And talking about Dr. Umar get a lot, and I don't agree with everything Dr. Umar say. I don't agree with everything nobody say. But the
Right.
reality is, you take truth for what it is. Dr. Umar is a very wise man. He is very
Yes.
culturally wise as far as Black people and the problems we face, and even some of the solutions to help us. And so at the end of the day, you have to learn to take good information and apply it and discard other information. Even with Kevin Samuels, I definitely don't do Kevin Samuels, but as I listen to Kevin Samuels, he is talking about millionaires and billionaire men. And I'm gonna be real with you, they're a whole different breed from a normal Black man, from a normal Black woman. So I don't even really get offended by him, because what he is talking about is not my caliber of man. Not saying that I don't deserve a man who rich and this and that, but typically those kind of men have different mindsets, and they feel privileged. They feel like these women need to have A, B, C, D, and E, F, and G because I got A, B, C, D, and E, F, and G. And sometimes they don't really be realistically living where the rest of us live. So I'm not even offended by that. Okay. If you telling me that, because let's be real, most Black men and most Black women do not make $100,000 a year. I don't know one that makes that. Okay. Like personally, pick up the phone, what's up, home girl, that makes over $100,000 a year. Okay. So let's just be real. Most of us are middle class Black Americans, and everybody else is below that, So at the end of the day, if he's talking about his experiences with rich Black men, I don't have any experience with rich Black men and rich Black women. So maybe you do know what you're talking about. I just know I wouldn't be asking him for no advice because he don't live on the level you live on. It's as simple.
Neither. Period. No.
Like all the women who call that line just to talk to him to get dog, he dog, right?
Girl, I'll be like, are you serious right now?
Yes or not?
Straight designed to tear you apart, child.
But you talking about the Love and Hip Hop brings up something that we were talking about, Sierra's husband. And
sheer.
And how they demonized that man when he said that his biggest fear was losing his wife. I want to get on this. I want to get on this because what that triggered for me is we as Black people demonize good relationships while glorifying dysfunctional ones. And that is a problem. That is a problem culturally, and that is a problem for you personally. And this is why. Let's be 100% honest. Y'all been on our podcast every week, so y'all already know what this is. Most of us came from dysfunctional, unhealthy, traumatizing childhoods and backgrounds. Okay? If you're honest with yourself, you would be able to agree. Now, if you're part of that small percent that didn't, sit to the side, this ain't for you. But if you came from what I just described, you don't understand, nor do you know how to have a healthy, good relationship, because you've been winging it all your life. Especially if you ain't went nowhere and got no therapy, and you ain't got no healing for the stuff that you have endured. So because of that, this is what happens. When somebody, and I'm going to use Russell Wilson here, because Russell Wilson really should be an example and a poster board for a Black man, Black husband,
I agree.
and how he treats his family and how he treats his wife. So anybody that has anything negative to say about that man, sit your dysfunctional self down and get functional before you open your mouth. Period. Man or woman talking to you, came for you, snatched your edges, and I mean that. I mean that in the most disrespectful way. I mean that. Ain't no respectfully speaking. Disrespectfully saying, sit down. Okay? So the reason why I want to deal with this is when you are not healed and you have not come to a place of healthiness and you don't know what a healthy relationship is, you will demonize a good relationship because it points out your inadequacies. The reason why all the men was talking about he a punk, he a simp, he this, he that, is because he everything they ain't. And I'm going to tell you right now, coming from a healthy, loving Black woman, I need me a Russell Wilson, okay? So let me tell you something. If you're a man who really wanted a good woman, you will be sitting back taking notes on bruh. Because I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to describe to you what my life was like when I wasn't healthy, when I didn't know how to have a healthy relationship. I was looking for any and every example to show me how to be a good wife, to show me how to be a healthy wife, because I did not have that. I did not have any real life examples. I did not know what it meant to do that, but I had a desire to be a good wife. I had a desire to be a good mother. So I put myself on a journey to discover what did that mean. So I started to look at different people and say, oh, I want to be that kind of wife. I want to be that kind of mom. And I started creating a list for myself. And then I started finding resources to build myself. And guess what? I sit here today and say, I am an excellent mother and I'm a good wife. It's as simple as that. Okay? So what I'm saying is, instead of demonizing good relationships, ain't nobody that perfect. Ain't nobody that happy, because I hear that too. Oh my God, y'all so bitter. Oh my God, y'all
misogyny. Misogyny.
Oh my God. Oh, ain't nobody that sweet. Oh, ain't nobody this. Da, 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 da. Oh, she whipped. Or oh, he just, his wife run him. That is the most stupid stuff
ridiculous
I have ever heard in my life. Y'all dumb. You dumb. Okay.
They dumb? Are you dumb? Are you dumb?
Like, I mean it. So the whole point is you demonize good relationships because you don't know how to have one. And that's not the proper thing to do. If you don't know how to do something, what you're supposed to be doing is trying to learn how. You're supposed to be striving to become better. So don't demonize a good relationship because that person, them people is everything you're not. Take some notes and learn. And here y'all go idolizing this dysfunctional crap.
Lil Boosie.
Oh my God. I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna let you talk about the dysfunction people.
What's the one she had the baby with before Russell?
The Truth?
Future.
And girl, I saw like little memes or whatever, right? About like somebody had like, oh, remember that one I showed you where they was like it had Kanye and Kim, and it was like they'll blame him. Lord. They'll blame him, but this is Kim's third marriage or some stuff. Like, no, both of them are some idiots. What are y'all talking about? Like, it don't matter how many times somebody been married. If you bad, you bad. If you trash, you trash. You know what I'm saying?
Hello.
And then with Future, no, not Future, the girl who dated Michael B. Jordan.
Oh,
the Harvey girl. Yeah, so you so they had a meme about that. They was talking about you know, how if somebody else did this, oh, they brought Future. They was talking about they compare Future to Lori Harvey. Like,
you can't.
I was like, oh my God, like, but this is things that people do to justify their dysfunctional behavior. Men, women, how come you just can't look at a man treating his woman with respect and love and honor and taking care of his family and be like, that's a good dude? No, y'all gotta try to hate all over. Y'all gotta hate all over.
Yeah.
That's why they can't learn nothing. That's why they can't learn nothing. So
the blueprint for these dysfunctional misogynistic men, then when I say misogynist, they think that they can do something that women can't do. That and in ways they can, but they just think that it's not okay for a woman to do it, but it is okay for a man to do it. That's what you call a misogynist. Misogynist is a blueprint of what women can't do, what women can't say, how women can't be, how Black women can't act, or women of color. And that's the reason that you get the disparity between Future and Lori Harvey. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but everywhere Future goes, he leaves a seed.
Right. Right.
He leaves a seed
that he ain't taking care of.
Lori Harvey, I mean, I'm not a big fan of hers, but she ain't leaving no seeds. I'm just saying, everywhere he goes, he leaves a seed as a reminder, which brings me to another thing. No, you don't go there. Nope. Nope. I'm gonna say something.
I ain't gonna go there.
I'm not doing it. But yeah.
Okay, so let's get to our last subject, so we can.
Yes, I'm not gonna go there.
Y'all know we were bred on. Okay. The last thing we wanted to ask is, we know that we talk about women waiting for that good man to come in their life.
Oh,
the question was, are men waiting? Do men wait? Are men waiting? I want to know, are y'all waiting? Because I have an opinion. I have a very strong opinion. I don't think you Negroes is waiting on nothing. Okay. But anyways, are men
waiting? Are men waiting? I think that
in the same sense that women wait, meaning
no,
a woman.
No. Okay. If you ask me my opinion, and we're gonna say in the same sense that women wait, no. That was different.
Explain.
Okay. So there is one way. We Black women, we may date, we might see how it goes, things like that. But no, we're not creating these connections, these soul ties. Okay, some of us. Men, let's just go ahead and keep it a buck.
Keep it a buck.
A lot of men, they're gonna try you out. Get on the horse. They want to feel it. They want to feel all of that. They want to do all of that, and then they go back whether or not you the one. After you did this, okay. But then you got some women saved, sanctified, and celibate sitting at home like Mother Teresa. Nam yo renge yo. They won't even go outside.
Well,
we wait. So you men, let me just break this down. You men that's out here tricking and tramping. You're not waiting.
Good God from Zion.
And that's my opinion.
Well,
if you're out tricking and tramping, what you're doing is you pruning. You testing each water until you can find the one that you feel like fits your profile. But what if your profile is dysfunctional? What if your profile has been built all wrong? So you have 5 or 6 women that you picking and pruning from, and you gonna choose the one that fits your profile the most. But your profile is it dysfunctional, unhealthy, unhealed, sexual perversion? Yes, I'm gonna go there. Okay, because a part of that is you constantly having to share your body with 10 different people. I'm going to say it. So sexual perversion, because you haven't learned healthy sexual practice, because you're getting your sexual practices from what you either saw in the hood or portrayed on television, or a dysfunctional family member, so you don't have healthy sexual practices. So what you've done is you picked a woman that fit that profile, and your profile is wrong. And I think that sometimes there needs to be a chance taken. And I'm gonna close with this, and sis, I'm gonna let you wrap it up. Sometimes there needs to be a chance to step out of the box of what your profile has been. And I'm not talking to anybody in particular. I'm just saying in general. Mm-hmm. Step out of the box for what your profile has been and think, is it possible that you've had some unhealthy sexual behaviors learned? Is it possible that you had an unhealthy upbringing maybe? Step out of that, because the one that challenges you, and this is for any man that is looking for a wife, this is not in particular to anyone. I'm not talking to anybody personally. Any woman that challenges you to do better and to step outside of those unhealthy practices that may not fit your profile. Let me tell you what profile she does fit. She doesn't fit your current profile. It fits the future you, if you would step out of the box and take a chance to do something and to love healthy. You may not have all of the answers. You don't have them all. She doesn't have them all. And do I think that you can only get into a relationship when you're completely healed? No, because no one is completely there. But she can love you and teach you in areas that you never learned, and vice versa. But you have to get past the image of you and your mind and go with what your spirit, you got to connect there, is telling you will be better for you health-wise in the spirit and in the natural. So this is why men are waiting. They say that they are, but they are not waiting the way that some women are waiting. They are doing a process of elimination based on their profile. Look at your profile and examine things. If they may not be working for you because your profile, man or woman, is wrong. And I'm about to wrap it up. But once again, I cannot reiterate this enough. When you get a woman that truly loves you, she will challenge you, not challenge your manhood. She will challenge you to be able to step out of that profile without making you feel diminished. This is the thing that we do, Black women, women in general that love their mates. This is what we do. You see it as nagging because you no longer want the challenge to progress. Because stretching out it doesn't feel good, but you feel good later and you're more limber. So do Black men wait? No. They process elimination. That's what they do. Do men wait? No. They process of elimination. And because their profiles are unhealthy, they think it's waiting because they haven't placed a label on any of those connections.
Well, good stuff. I personally think, do men wait? No, I don't think they wait. I don't think that they wait. A woman will say to herself, I am going to take care of myself in this time. I'm going to develop myself during this time. And when the right man comes along, I'll be healthy. I'll be ready to engage in a relationship with him. And she prepares herself for that man that she believes is coming. Men typically do not do that. Men are so dysfunctional